Hi, this is Cynthia Letsch with Letsch Law Firm, and thank you for being with us for this presentation today. We've been talking a little bit about having a corporate fiduciary listed as the trustee for your trust or as the executor for your estate if you're going through probate. And today we have with us Eric LeSure, who is from Raccoon Valley Bank. Eric is the trust officer at Raccoon Valley Bank, and he's here to give us a little bit of insight about when you might want to consider using a corporate fiduciary and some of the benefits that having a corporate fiduciary can bring to the table. So Eric, what would you say might be the two most compelling reasons for seriously considering having a corporate fiduciary?
That's a good question. Certainly one of the most compelling reasons is to maximize the assets of the estate and what ultimately gets paid out to the beneficiaries. That's one that one is obvious. The one that's not so obvious is having a corporate fiduciary can more than likely dramatically improve the chances that family harmony is maintained, and that's a very important thing. When you think about it, when most people think about it deeply, one of the things that they really want when they pass away is for the relationships between their family members to stay positive. And oftentimes if that doesn't occur if a family member is a trustee or an executor.
We have that experience in our office often also, where we see warring family members. You know, people do things in grief that they might not otherwise do. And so is there a certain family dynamic or family situation that might specifically lend itself to maybe really seriously considering a corporate fiduciary?
Yeah, certainly there's that you hear about sibling rivalry, and that is certainly something that is present in most families. There's also the fact that we have blended families now. Blended families in today's world are very common. Another factor that comes into play is the in-laws. So when the in-laws are involved, sometimes the individuals would do things that they normally would not. So those are all things that can create that family disharmony, that distrust that might exist. And you're also, there's some expertise that's needed in this areas that you're putting that family member that you appoint as a trustee or an executor. It's a very requires very competent skills and experiences, and most of the time family members just don't have those experiences or skills
That they can bring to the table.
Right.
We see that too, especially maybe when it comes to valuing complicated assets and the inventory gets filed, or we've got the list of what are the values of things, and then family members are calling us to complain that this or that asset has been undervalued, and especially if maybe it's been a specific bequest.
Correct.
That takes that issue totally off the table if you've got a third party partial.
Yeah, that impartiality is very important, and that's something that a third party trustee or executor can bring to it that a family member just can't, because there's history there that you can't erase.
Do you have maybe any example that you can share with us of some family disharmony that?
Sure. Yeah, in fact, there's a situation I'm involved with now where an individual passed away about 5 years ago, and the estate is still in probate. In this situation, one of the surviving beneficiaries, the son, was appointed the executor. And to make a long story short, there's been some family disharmony taking place, and it's still not settled. And they're now looking for a corporate trustee. And in the long run, if they had appointed a corporate trustee from the start, the cost would have been a lot less than otherwise.
So this probate estate's been open for 5 years now. So the statute requires that a probate estate be closed in 2 years unless you have
Right.
some reason why you have to leave it open.
Right.
And that's the most common reason probably why estates get left open longer than they normally would, and that's because there is some kind of discord and trouble in the family.
Yeah, it's been a mess, and someone's going to have to figure it out.
Well, you mentioned that it's cost a lot more money having it be open so long. So that's the most common question I get when I suggest that you use a corporate fiduciary is, well, don't they get paid? And of course they're going to get paid. We pay people to do things for us. So, and the executor, if you name one of your children as executor of your estate, that person could get paid as well. But what's your response when someone would ask, well, will you get paid to do this?
Right. Well, certainly in a probate situation, the court sets the fees involved, the maximum fees that can be charged. They can be less, but there are some court maxims there. In any profession, when you're going to the doctor, you're paying for that doctor's expertise and experience. So just as the doctor would get paid, a corporate fiduciary would also get paid. What you have to weigh is what the benefits of that corporate fiduciary can bring to you. They bring impartiality, they bring competence, and they minimize the risk of family disharmony. So the last benefit, the kind of a side benefit, is you also appointing a corporate trustee relieves that individual who might be executor or a trustee from the burden, because being appointed a trustee or an executor is a burden in addition to being a responsibility.
So very good. Well, thank you very much, Eric. I appreciate you coming in
All right.
to visit with us today. Thank you all very much, and we'll get back to the rest of your training.